The key to unlocking this silly globe pantomime is psychology. And I'm going to let an online globe representative show you exactly what I mean. Bear with me. What you find is these online globe representatives don't understand how their own minds work. And because of that, the ego holds sway. And because the ego holds sway, silliness is coming our way.
Right, so obviously the reason for this little video is, of course, our old chum, Level Up Observer. I always said I didn't want it to be making this channel to be solely about him, but at the moment that's just the way it's going.
Mate, you look absolutely exhausted. Let it go. Let it go. You've got no scientific demonstrations. You're clearly exhausted. Spend your time, your sacred time, with your family. Go somewhere beautiful, the woods, the sea. Stop this silliness, citing sci-fi movies as proof that demonstrable reality is wrong. Stop it. It's clearly exhausting you, mate.
After my video, my funny little video about the old Death of Level Earth Observer's channel, I made a bit of a boo-boo, and I have apologised for this. Basically, I said something in the comment which I've since deleted, where I insinuated that Elio, or Adam, I think is his actual name, was on the top video, on the short reel on the top of his YouTube channel. There's footage that's taken within the cab of his crane, removing a circa 1.5 ton digger or something like that, but he's recording it on his mobile phone. Now, I insinuated incorrectly that he may have been holding the mobile phone in his hand.
Now, what makes more... Let me just pause it there. That's quite an insinuation, by the way, a very slanderous one. You're insinuating that I'm operating heavy machinery, a tower crane, using one hand and then filming with the other. That's not only illegal, but incredibly dangerous. But what really didn't help you is the fact I was slewing, luffing and hoisting all at the same time. And when I asked you to explain to me how it's possible to slew, luff and hoist using just one hand, you quickly realised how out of your depth and how silly and egotistical your actual statement, your description in the video where you made this silly slanderous comment was. Let's come back.
Sense to someone using logic here. Am I driving this crane on top of a cannonball that's doing 500,000 miles an hour, flying through space?
While he was recording it, this obviously is not the case. If you know anything about these cranes, you need two hands to do the operations he was doing. So, after a couple of conversation pieces between myself and him on my channel, I took the little comment down. It's just a couple of lines. I didn't actually explicitly insinuate that's what he was doing, but
you did, because you've said it just a minute or so ago several times, that you were insinuating that I was essentially operating a crane illegally and dangerously. So yeah, you were insinuating incredibly slanderous things, which is why I put you in your place, which is why your ego then got triggered after you actually owned it and apologized. A few days your ego marinated your thoughts there, and rather than own your ego turned you over, and this is what we're going to have to entertain.
Could be read as that's what I intended. I've taken the piece down and I've apologised to him, which he has accepted. Fair enough. However,
ego pantomime time. Couldn't own it, so here we go.
In the cold light of day, a few days later, I had to think about it a couple of times. Now, my apology still stands. I was wrong to insinuate things I did. However, it was interesting to hear his terminology about the word slander. The official description of slander is using dangerous or defamatory or incorrect statements or false statements to denigrate somebody's character. Now,
You mean like claiming someone's operating a tower crane illegally and dangerously? You mean slander like that, yeah? I got ya.
Know anything about Level Earth Observer, that's his reason for living. That's his raison d'etre. That's his modus operandi. Is
it? I'm a demonstrable realist, and based on science we can test and verify for ourselves, I get a free pass to bash space. It's not an opinion, it's a scientific demonstrable fact backed up by every single person on this earth. Otherwise, there'd be hundreds of scientific demonstrations on Simon Dan's channel refuting me. There's none. Even though he's highlighted my claims to his viewers, there's not one demonstration on this earth refuting me. Because it's reality, and the reality is the globe's scientifically impossible. And because of that, this is what we have to entertain.
Consistently slanderous to everybody. Simon Dan, Dave McKeegan, anybody who says contradictory things. The entire work.
I've never slandered any of them. I've criticised them for defending things and making money from defending things that are scientifically impossible. Rightly so. I've never slandered them. I've had many globe believers like yourself try to slander me. Can you see how the psychology holds these people in prisons of delusion? This is what keeps the globe delusion alive. These safety catches, these mechanisms that the mind serves up. Weak-minded people cannot own this. They're not even aware of it. They just spew out more delusions. It's mad to watch.
Also, NASA, all 330,000 people are all fakes, pantomime, charade artists or something along those lines, which is slanderous, telling.
Now you're making the claim, again falsely, that I claim that every single person at NASA's in on the lie. No, I've never made that claim. Most of those people are oblivious. They're just very naive individuals like yourself who believe the data they get on the screen, the cartoons, the excuses, fall for the firework displays and the space pantomime. Chuck in some hairspray and then there you go, fully bought into a delusion. So no, I don't make that claim that everyone at NASA is a pantomime star. The whole thing's a silly charade, yeah, held together by naivety and a few people who do know the truth. Okay? Was I in on it when I went along with this tosh at school? I questioned the globe. Reluctantly, I went along with it. Was I in on it? No, of course I wasn't. Stop being so naive, fella. All you've shown us is the automated defense mechanisms that reside in the hearts and minds of online globe believers. If you could own that bloke, if you could own that fella, those responses, you would see the error of your ways and you'd see the error that is the globe. It has no science. It's only held together by your own imagination and the fact your ego holds sway. Here's a tip. Start paying attention to what's going on inside your head. Just by paying attention, when you have knee-jerk responses to certain triggers, just by paying attention to that response, some of its clout dissipates. All right? A little tip for you there to start understanding how your own mind works. The sooner you get in control of your mind, the sooner you'll start to see the error of your ways and, of course, the fact the globe's scientifically impossible. It shouldn't be difficult to see that because the globe is just that, impossible. But because you've got these automated responses that act as blockades, you can't see literally the truth is staring you in the face. You've fallen for all the propaganda. You've accused me of the very thing you and your pals do on a regular basis. And you don't even see the faulty logic at play here. I have no, despite this, despite your slander, despite your misrepresentations, I don't hate you. Despite the fact you're using my material, my voice, and putting adverts on your video to make money, and still lie, misrepresent, I still don't hate you. That's the difference. You get triggered, angry, and all your pals hate and try and spew garbage and misrepresent and clearly, as you've shown us today, make very, very slanderous comments. And even after apologizing, the ego still, after you owned it, the ego still got the better of you. Stop it. Stop this silliness. This is what holds the globe delusion together. Psychology. The sooner you get hold of your mind and start realizing how it works, and you can do that by just paying attention to the responses, the thoughts that come into your head in certain situations, certain triggers, the sooner you get hold of that, the better, and you'll start being a better person, discerning better, and you'll start seeing the problems which people like myself have been pointing out for years. Until you get hold of the psychology at play, you're never going to see it. You're never going to see it. Reality tells you the globe's impossible, you can't see it. You cite space propaganda as evidence that reality is wrong, and yet you project all your insecurities and your delusions, lies and misrepresentations onto people like myself, and you still can't see it. Bless you, mate.